Hello everyone and welcome to Try English. Today we will talk about auxiliary verbs, or in other words you can refer to them as helping verbs. So today we will talk about their main roles in a sentence. We will give you some examples and we will tell you about each tense and its own auxiliary verb. And we will also talk about what we will do our next lesson. Let's go ahead and start. So the main role of auxiliary verbs in English language is to make these sentences negative or to make question sentences. How do we do them? Let's take a look. For example, I like coffee. I do not like coffee. So in here, I do not is auxiliary verb and we use it to make the sentences negative. And if you want to make a question sentence, we use do and put it in the beginning of the sentence. For example, do I like coffee? Now, in the second set of examples, we use she. And if you study English for a while now, you know that when we use he, she, it, the verb ending changes and it takes either es or s at the end. Now here, that's why we have she likes coffee, she does not like coffee. Again, here it shows that the sentence is negative. And if you want to make a question, we use the auxiliary verb does and we put it in the beginning of the sentence. For example, does she like coffee? As mentioned before, in English, there are three main tenses: past, present, and future. And then depending on which one do you use in your speech, you should make sure that you use the right auxiliary verb to go with it to sound more correct and to sound better. Now let's take a look in each tense and their subcategories. We have past simple, past continuous, and past perfect. Now here are just a very short overview and we are using just the main ones. In our next lessons, you can keep following and will give you more detailed examples and more detailed explanation of each tense. But here, let's take a look. For example, for past simple, the auxiliary verb we use is to be, which is was over and did. For past continuous, we use also the verb to be, which is again either was or were. For past perfect, we use had. For present simple, we use to be. Now here are am, is, are because this is present simple, and do or does. For present continuous, we use to be again, which are am, is, and are. And for present perfect, we use either have or has. Now let's take a look at the last one, the future tense. So with future simple, we use will. With future continuous, we use the auxiliary verb will be. And for future perfect, we use will have. Now let me give you a little bit more examples with each of them so you have a better understanding and it will be easier as well. I'm not going to read all of them to you. If you have free time, you can feel free to pause the video and scan through them to make sure you understand everything correctly. And if you have any questions or concerns, you can write them down in the comment section below. But I will just read one of them for you. Let's take a look at past simple, for example. I was angry. So here we use was because it's past simple. And this is the auxiliary verb that we can use with that tense. I was angry. And if you want to make a negative sentence in past simple, we can use did not. I did not do my homework, for example. The rest of them are pretty self-explanatory, so you can take a look at them at your own time when you feel like that. And that is basically it for today. We just wanted to give you a short overview of auxiliary verbs. And on our next lesson, so we will continue with this topic. We will dive deeper into each tense and I will learn and teach you how to use them in different tenses, how to use different auxiliary verbs. And if you feel that there's any other English topic that you would like to learn or you have more questions about, let us know and we'll definitely make a video about that as well. Thank you very much and we'll see you on our next lesson.